Joel Schaefer is a certified master advertising specialist and the CEO and founder of Soundline LLC, a pioneering audio product supplier to the promotional products industry. Joel has 44 years of promotional product industry experience, and he does have a booth out there, so he'll be free for more conversation after this meeting. He has been on the advisory panel of the Business and Marketing Department of St. John's University in New York. He's a frequent speaker at Rutgers Graduate School of Business. He's an industry advocate and has appeared before the American Bankers Association, American Marketing Association, ExhibitCraft, and several other major groups, teaching over 200 classes nationwide. Joel is a past director of the PPAI, which is an industry association, and has chaired several PPAI committees and task forces. He's a past chair of the SAGNY Foundation, which is a local industry association, past president of SAGNY and SAGNY Hall of Fame member. He resides at the ASI, which is the Advertising Specialty Institute, as one of the 50 most influential people in the industry. Here he is, Joel Schaefer.
Tell everybody to come to their senses. So I'm going to run through this and try to position what you can get out of this market and how it helps you, even though you're all of diverse interests in coming here today. Come to your senses. The question I have is, can you taste the apple on an Apple computer? It's not sense. You cannot taste the apple. Can you feel how soft it is on Microsoft? You can't. We're in a digital age. These things are not coming through unless Captain Kirk brought them through the teleporter, then you could touch it or you could taste it. But right now we're in a digital age. Can you smell the roses on flowers.com? Not yet. But eventually there'll be some vapor coming out of the computer, I'm sure. Can you hear the news, reading the daily news or reading the newspaper? No, you don't get that audio thing, you do get a visual thing. Can you remember the Super Bowl commercial, the first one run this year? There were a couple of commercials, we all saw them. We all will remember one or two commercials, but do you really remember any of them from that fleeting moment where they spent $3 million to produce that commercial? Can you get a hole-in-one with a postcard? No, you can't get a hole-in-one with a postcard as an invitation to a golf tournament. You can get a hole-in-one with a golf ball and a golf club, but you can't get it with a postcard. Can you promote a brand by wearing a magazine? You can't promote a brand by wearing a magazine, but Budweiser does promote its brand with probably more t-shirts saying Bud and the Budweiser t-shirts than anything you have ever seen in your life with every beer commercial, but you're not going to wear that magazine. So what we're basically talking about here is dimensional engagement, engaging your target group. Who are they? She may want to recruit students because it's some form of school. She may want to engage people in a video. This gentleman may want people to walk into his retail business. Whatever it is, engaging people, getting them to come to you and do what you want to do, can be done in a dimensional way, and that's what we have outside dimensional. ExhibitCraft is dimensional. Going to a trade show and building those monstrously gorgeous booths is dimensional, and that's all part of the attraction. Today, in the digital age, dimensional advertising is more relevant than ever. It is not the only form of advertising, sales, and marketing that you're going to use, but it is more relevant than ever. So what do we do in this industry that we have compared to what these guys do? And if you don't recognize these people, I'd be very surprised. I caught up on one episode last night, and he's turning nicer. He wasn't very nice, but he's turning nicer now that he has a second wife. So what can madmen do? What can madmen do, and what can we do? Let me just phrase this in first and tell you that advertising times are changing. Pay-per-click, I saw somebody here said maximize your LinkedIn on one of the badges. Pay-per-click, they're bidding up to $4 or $5 a click. It's impossible to make money if you're paying $5 a click. As a matter of fact, just for fun, I tell everybody, if you know your competitors online with pay-per-click, go home tonight and just keep on clicking. You'll put them out of business by tomorrow morning. But when you take a look at all the pay-per-click that's out there, and you take a look at all the ads, my wife plays Words with Friends, and every once in a while up pops a commercial, boom, and you can exit out because you're not doing it. The entire world of advertising is turning upside down, but digital is the way to do it, and that's where all the money is going. So that's why the Times and all the other media is losing its ground to digital advertising. However, there is a rebellion against advertising, and people are simply rebelling. On demand is moving advertising off the television. So things are changing and advertising is changing. But the basic tenets of advertising have not changed. And it's the tenets that ExhibitCraft applies to what they can do for your business. And the first thing is to create awareness. When you go out there and see some of the products, and we're not in the product business. This is kind of like the doctor's medicine that's sitting out there. The doctor has to diagnose your condition and then prescribe what's out there, and that's what ExhibitCraft does. They will come to you, they will sit down with you, Gene and crew will come down and say, what are you trying to do? What is the budget you're trying to establish? Who's your target demographic? Come back to you with the creativity as they do a rendering of a booth. They're going to come back to you with an outlined program as to what you can do to achieve the target things that you're trying to do. But the very simple, pragmatic 4A advertising agency theory of how you advertise applies to it all. First, create awareness. I was not aware of toenail fungus. I'm now very much aware of these little green creatures on the television telling me about toenail fungus. I mean, ever since pharmaceutical advertising has hit, I'm aware of a lot of things I shouldn't be aware of, but we're all aware of that. They have created awareness over and over and over and over again. Awareness is not just one time. You have to reinforce it over and over again. Once you create awareness, you will ultimately begin to create interest in going to see the car, buy the car. I've got to be aware of what the car is, and then I have a little interest. Ultimately, interest will create desire, and once you have desire, you can then get action. And that is the way the 4A advertising agencies do it. This is exactly where we are without going into it. This is where we are here in ExhibitCraft today. We are a form, in many cases, of advertising, but we are dimensional advertising as opposed to the advertising that everybody else is familiar with. When you go to an ad agency, they'll do the creative for you. How many of you have an ad agency? You're rich? Nobody else raised their hands. They'll do the creative for you, but you're going to pay for the creative. The storyboards and all the creative work that you do, you're going to pay for the creative. One of the things that ExhibitCraft does in their business model is they will do the creative for you. And Scott didn't know anything I was saying here, so he's going, why are you saying that? They'll do the creative development, the creative ideas, the creative work for you, and basically that side of it, unless there's something extra special, there's not a charge for it. They will develop the campaign, so will the agency, and so will this organization. They'll do the design work, they'll do the design work. They'll do the sourcing, they will charge, as you notice, all of this, there's fees for everything, and I love the word no. That's a very positive word here, because everything that the ad world is doing is done here, and everything that we're doing, the nutshell of what it is all the work that is done by our creative branch of advertising and marketing is basically done at no cost to you, with one need that you have to satisfy for us, and that is if the program is adopted by you, management says we're going to do this, you decide it's going to be done, all we want in return is the opportunity to fulfill the program that we developed. We don't like, anybody here from purchasing? We don't like purchasing. You can't talk too loud. Because they go, you gotta get 3 bids. Well, excuse me, we just did all this creative work. It's our brain, it's our intellectual work. We are giving you the ideas, and you're telling me you gotta get 3 bids? We don't like that, because it diminishes the value of all that creativity that we are doing for you. The advantages that we bring from our product line is that it is audience focused, it is directed, what we do and how you do it, and I'm going to get into some illustrations, is audience focused. Above and beyond everything else, what we do is tangible and long lasting. I got to tell you this quick story because we're in Jersey and I'm living in Jersey as well. Anybody here from STS Tire? Okay, one of our and I'm a supplier. By that it means that I'm a manufacturer and I create, and my distributorship is ExhibitCraft. You cannot buy from me. You can buy from ExhibitCraft. Our distribution chain is only, you can't go to Allstate and buy a direct insurance policy. You got to go through their agents. So ExhibitCraft is my distribution channel to you. So make a very long story short, STS Tire, nobody's here from STS Tire, I'm safe, was talking about using a promotional product, and it was the first time that I heard this objection. The buyer said, I don't want to put anything out with my name and address on it. And the question was, well, why not? He said, because it lasts too long. I said, isn't that what it's all about, to have your name and your brand up on the wall in the dry cleaner so everybody sees your name on the calendar or the bank or whoever it is? And he said, yeah, but what if we close the store? People will drive there and it won't be open. And it defied everything that we tell. We are the advertising medium that stays longer and gives you more brand exposure than any other form of advertising. The outdoor billboard disappears, the bus disappears, the magazine, the newspaper, all of that disappears. We're the one who stays longer. We have easily impacted, we have a measurable ROI. By that I simply mean that when you're doing something at a trade show to bring people to trade show traffic, we can measure the success or failure of that program. We're easy to distribute, we're viral in terms of getting the word out, we complement your target marketing program and other advertising media. Let me tell you what Scott has at his fingertips. Scott has over 5,000 manufacturers that Gene and team can source in a second. Scott has the ability to go immediately out across the world, and by tomorrow morning have information for you on whatever it is that Scott wants to create or you need from Scott. Global sourcing is so much in the bag right now, but not the way that you might do it, trying to go on the internet and find unknown people. Because what Scott has right now is 2,000 exclusive manufacturers. Everybody sitting in that room right now distributes only through companies like ExhibitCraft, exclusive distribution. And the beautiful part about that is that most of the suppliers that ExhibitCraft works with are 5-star proven suppliers, guaranteed quality, service, and price. So if you want to go search for a company that makes coffee mugs and risk the fact that it's good or bad, you can. But when ExhibitCraft comes to you and says, this is what we're doing, these are 5-star suppliers who have known quality, service, and price, backed by a lot of tradition. The internet is a wonderful place to search. We can get cheaper goods there every day of the week, but we don't know who we're buying from. And in our industry, delivery is important because your trade show is on Tuesday, her special event is on Wednesday, that company picnic is on Thursday. It's got to be there and it's got to be right. That's one of the advantages that you have working with a company. We have online search engines sitting in Gene's office right now. If Gene might show you a demonstration. And if you needed to say, looking for something that's blue and is an appropriate thing for winter, a couple of buzzwords go in there and out come an incredible amount of resources for ExhibitCraft to come back to you creatively and help you achieve what you're trying to do in your marketing program. We have behind them are warehouses and fulfillment that are just mind-boggling, the ability to do company store programs. How many of you have an online company store where your dealers or distributors, can come? So many people today are literally having stores where if they have a national network of dealers and distributors, they can come and get branded merchandise, branded apparel, and companies like ExhibitCraft are the ones that put together those programs on there. So let me basically now tell you exactly what you need, what this company can deliver to you. The first thing this company delivers is appreciation. If you want to say thank you to your customers, thank you to your employees, and show appreciation, this is the place you say, I need to show appreciation. I need to do it for $1, $2, or $3. I need to do it to 500 people. I need to do it on Tuesday. I need to show customer appreciation. Whether it's visiting dignitaries from Japan or China, or whether it's an appreciation to your employees for a job well done, or just because they're working for you for a long time. Appreciation headquarters. Recognition, similar to appreciation, except congratulations, Elaine, you are the employee of the year. That recognition means you get a pink Cadillac, or you get a plaque, or you get something specific, and that tangibility. Recognition is critical. Everybody goes, I don't need it. I mean, he was introducing me this morning. I didn't need it. I was blushing from the introduction. But recognition is important to people. It's a fundamental human need that everybody goes, no, we don't need it. This is the house for recognition. No, it's not a trophy shop. But behind there, and you're going to see some absolutely gorgeous crystal. You're going to see some of the brand names that you know. Here's the place to go. One phone call says, this is what I could do. And they can do it. It's an intermediary. When I moved into my condo 6 years ago, I went to an interior decorator. And she took care of everything for me. It was an intermediary. Sure, I could have gone shopping for furniture and everything else. But I needed somebody in there who had the brain, the consultant, the talent to help me do what I had to do. And that's what's necessary in business today. Nobody's got the time. But you can always save money by going on the internet. But that's not what it's about. It's about success.